Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host, Tony Cañas, switching to my radio voice. And today I have with me Nick Coenen. I think I halfway got that correctly.
You got it.
Principal and co-founder at Wikifri. Nick, how's it going today?
Tony, it's great. Beautiful day in Columbus, and it just so happens we're both here. So how about that?
So yeah, for the listeners, so Nick and I have chatted before off camera, and we have run into each other at this time, I don't know, several InsurTech events, including recently. So Nick is Columbus, Ohio based, and I am theoretically Atlanta, Georgia based, but currently professionally homeless or digital nomad. I'm on my way to live in Argentina for the next year, currently at my mother-in-law's in Columbus. So the funny thing is, I saw Nick a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, hey, we haven't recorded the podcast. Remember, send me a message. So he sends me a message. I send him the Calendly, and he chooses a day that I happen to be here in town. But we didn't realize it until now, so it didn't make sense to do it in person. So anyway, so now the good thing is I did choose somehow to come during like the 1 week of the year that Columbus has good weather. It's been beautiful. So thank you for spending a little bit of like the few days of nice weather with me. So Nick, we always give the chance that we always give the guest the chance to give the elevator pitch. What is Wikifri? Hold on. Before you answer that, given that this is an InsurTech podcast, I am assuming that it is not a wiki dedicated to stir fry.
Correct. Yes, but that is the most creative way I've heard somebody explain our name. And we named the company, and I'll get to that as I tell you our story in a unique way. But I'll have to use that again. So thank you for using that creative
Awesome.
explanation just for fun. But yes, we are an insurance focused consulting and advisory firm and soon to be solution provider, which I'll explain. We've been in the business for 26 years. I myself personally 18 of those 26, but my partner and our managing partner, Bill Freitag, started another company back in 1997 called called Agile Technologies. He was just leaving the divestiture of Crum and Forster at the time, and some of those companies became Agile's first clients. And some of those companies became Ace. Agile grew as Ace grew. Ace became Chubb. Most people in insurance know that story and how Chubb's become kind of the predominant force in insurance these days. That company we ended up selling to Majesco in 2015. All 100 or so of us went over to Majesco at the time. We were Majesco Consulting Services for 3 years. We stayed on through the earnout, and then when that was over, Majesco started to pivot away from the services strategy to more of the software strategy, which I think people are most familiar with today. And we still like doing consulting, so we left and did some other things. And Bill and I got together at InsurTech Connect in 2019 on the last night, said, let's start another company, and we did. And here we are. So what we do is our number one value point is that we know and understand insurance. I would put our insurance expertise up against any other company.
Hold on. Did I catch that correctly? That it was born from like the decision to let's go ahead and do it again was from a conversation at ITC?
Yes, it was. Yeah, Bill had already kind of, he says he quit retirement because he wasn't good at it, but I don't think he was envisioning what we have now today. But I would say that what we have today was born at a bar at the MGM Grand, at the Italian restaurant whose name I don't remember, but I'm sure everybody that was at ITC that year went there or walked past it.
So this is
and then
ITC,
of course, year one was 2020. Yes.
Oh wow! Okay, I love this. I love this. Okay, so the most stories that start with we were at a bar in Vegas are very good stories. But most don't end up creating a new InsurTech. But for the listeners, if anybody else has created an InsurTech at the bars at the end of the day at ITC, I would love to hear that story. So So sorry, I had lost track after you said ITC Las Vegas. Okay, perfect. I was there also, by the way, not at the bar
Yeah,
with you
that's
guys, but
okay.
I was there at ITC. Okay, so you were basically saying that when it comes to insurance knowledge, you truly consider this to be the top company in town, or top company
Yes,
there
yeah, we
is.
know and understand it. Yes, we know and understand how insurance works fundamentally. You know, the policy life cycle, everything about it, all lines of business, all functional areas. And that's
Okay.
really the
Mhm.
core of our value proposition. And we service insurtechs. We help insurtechs with our consulting services. Usually it's the type of insurtech that doesn't know insurance, but they have tech and they need to understand insurance in order to create a value proposition for the world of insurance. We also service investment groups. So people that are putting money into insurance that need to understand the insurance value proposition in order to invest in that concern. And then, of course, our bread and butter is traditional insurance organizations, carriers, MGAs, brokers, kind of the whole value chain we've worked with in our background, in our experience. So
Fan-
the types of things that we do, we help with operating models. We have one of the pieces of intellectual property we have that we've built over the 26 years is our insurance business oriented operating model, which we've given the acronym iBOOM to. And that is basically a business architecture, business process capabilities for envisioning an insurance operation and documenting and informing everything you need to select and implement enabling technologies, whether it be so carriers could use it when they're transforming their core systems. We've been helping some startup companies that are one of which is a startup workers comp carrier. We use the iBoom to kind of launch their business and help them implement policy administration. We helped a cyber
but
company that was a startup also in that way.
but 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 by the way, from our perspective, you are more than allowed to say company names if they're okay with you saying the company name. So feel
Yeah.
free to name drop as needed.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. The cyber company is Triumph Cyber, and people probably have seen in the news about them. They've been out there, and we along with EY and Origami Risk have partnered together to create Origami Risk. For those who don't know, is a core systems provider, multi-tenant cloud solution, and we helped them launch in a really rapid period of time. We started working with them. I don't remember exactly when, but probably August of last year, and they were writing business, which
Launched
we
already.
call, you got to bring in revenue. Yeah, you got, yeah, they're already writing business. They were back in January, so that's a pretty quick speed to
Fantastic.
market and speed to value, which is really
Yeah,
part of what we do.
incredible.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. So the other thing we do, and why I said we're soon to be a solution provider, is we have a
Mhm.
cloud data cloud for insurers, where we have the ability to stabilize data from all the transactional systems, policy, billing, claims, bordereaux, and then we stabilize the data, consolidate it into a premium loss kind of technical ledger, if you will, that enables that data to then be used downstream for financial, regulatory reporting, actuarial processing, reinsurance processing, and of course, all of your BI data and analytics and reporting that you need to do as an insurance organization. So this
So
coming
so
ITC will be hopefully
Mhm.
approved for one of the little kiosks to demonstrate that technology.
Fantastic. No wonder I've been seeing you at every conference. It makes sense now, or it makes more sense now. So help me understand real quick, since I don't come from a technology background, and I've also never ran a department or anything along the lines. So when you say stabilize data, what does that mean? Like one version of the truth, or what is stabilized data in our insurance world?
I love that you said one version of the truth because that is one of the many aspects of it. But any given insurance carrier has at least one or more transactional systems. Even, one of the companies we helped in the recent years, they had a legacy system and they had Guidewire. And we have another client that has 8 different policy admin platforms. And, there's all sorts of
Not
shapes and
unusual.
sizes in between.
Hmm.
And transactional systems keep data for transactions. They don't keep data for all the downstream functions that you need to do as an insurance company.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
And
Hmm.
furthermore, when you have multiple platforms, you have different grains of data, you have different taxonomy and different structures. And so, what our kind of secret sauce is, if you will, is taking all those sources, bringing them together, and then having that one common layer that uses that gets all your financial transactions in order so you can get that data downstream and use the data for all the back office
Okay,
functionality that you need.
that makes perfect sense. Thank you for bringing it down to earth. Red, for me, it's a little bit weird because I know a lot about insurance, and I've worked in multiple functions within insurance, and I've interviewed hundreds of insurtechs, but I'm not a tech guy, and also I'm not right. I don't have that functional like running a department experience. Uh, so thank you. That was fantastic. Can you still hear me? Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, you
Okay.
paused for a minute,
Yeah.
but you're back now.
Okay. Perfect. I'll make a note to cut that out of the recording. Okay. So what I was saying is that thank you for bringing it down to earth for me since I'm
I
not a
got
technical
that part.
person.
Yes,
Yeah.
yep.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yes, and
All good.
I think
Uh,
you you did pretty well with understanding that it was a single version of the truth. I think that was a good start. So,
Uh, I remember so I had a really interesting experience. I went through a financial leadership rotation program for a gigantic carrier who happens to be headquartered here in Columbus. uh, and I remember like to me coming from underwriting, well from 2 years in claims and two in underwriting or one in underwriting, it was mind blowing. What do you mean we don't have a single version of the truth? And they were like, well, we're working to get to one single version of the truth. And I'm like, but it's the reality that the carriers live in.
it is, yes, yeah. It's a problem that insurance has been trying to tackle for a long time. And I mentioned in the last company, one of the experiences we've used to craft this product is we helped Ace build a global data warehouse from consolidating data from 38 countries to do their financial close. So that's kind of just gives you an idea of we've been solving this problem. It's been a problem for a long time. We've been solving the problem for a long time, and now we're about to embark on a journey where we have this product that will make it even better, faster, cheaper for insurers.
That is super exciting. So we haven't yet tackled the name Wikifri. So where did the name come from?
Good question. And I'll give you kind of the detailed answer. But I mentioned before in my sort of monologue introduction that the last company was called Agile Technologies. And that company was started in 1997 before Agile methodology was all the rage that it is today. And so we had a little, in those last few years before we sold the company to Majesco, we had a little brand confusion. And the phone would ring oftentimes with people saying, "Hey, are you guys the guys that can help us do Agile methodology?" And that wasn't, right. That was not what we did. Uh, so when we were coming up with this company, Bill does all the naming in the company, by the way. That's in addition to managing partner, he could be the chief naming officer too. He's good at naming things. And he came up with the name just by playing with his initials and some vowels and stuff, and it made a word. And it's a conversation piece. So and it makes us
Okay,
unique.
fantastic. And the word wiki in Hawaiian means quick. That's why Wikipedia is called
Okay.
Wikipedia. So um, basically all the wikis that exist, like the word wiki, is because they can be easily edited, quickly put together. So it actually works really well since you guys are helping companies launch quickly. Uh, so
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yeah, and I think the whole Wikipedia concept in wiki in that parlance is kind of a knowledge base, right? And I think that's another tenet of our brand, as I mentioned, our background and experience in knowledge, and we view ourselves as a resource to the industry. You don't always have to buy from us, right? You can call us and have a conversation, and we can share our wealth of experience and industry knowledge.
okay. When does the solution provider side launch?
We are going to hopefully we've been working on getting the solution right, not just get out to market. One important thing to note is we do not have any investors and we do not have any debt. We are all kind of a bootstrapped company, so we do things on
Fantastic.
our schedule and we want to do things. Yes, yeah, we want to do things on our schedule. We want to do things right, and we want to deliver for clients. Some
And,
companies
and
make accommodations budget budgets for lawsuits. We make budgets for accommodations. We
th
100% service clients and deliver for clients.
there are some
So
significant
we've
advantages.
been working on getting this. Sorry,
There are some
I
significant.
digressed a
No
little bit.
worries. No worries. Uh, there are some significant advantages to being bootstrapped. You are and not having debt. You are under much less pressure to scale yesterday, and you can get it right. You can take the time to get it right, and not only that, but if I'm an insurtech and I'm buying a cloud service from you, or even if I'm a carrier, I'm buying a cloud service from you, uh, I I am much more confident that you're less likely to get bought out. You're much less likely to you're much less likely to have like radical change that's not the best to serve me. Uh, so I like the fact that you guys are bootstrapped. Love it.
Yes, very good points, all. So we have three clients today that are on this platform, and those clients have been sort of our proving ground. We have another client that I mentioned already, the client with Guidewire and a legacy system, where we perfected some of the technology as well. And at ITC this year, we're hoping to have a kiosk in the startup area where we uh, are able to really kind of launch formally and have a whole marketing campaign around it and so forth. We're also probably going to be at target markets in the fall doing the same thing. So, uh, as you mentioned, we're at all the conferences, so we'll see you down the road at those.
That that has to be so exciting. Going from attending ITC to having the idea at ITC to formally launching at ITC. That is the next. So right now we're recording on May 11th. ITC is the week of Halloween. Uh,
That's
this
right.
is going to be an
It's on Halloween,
exciting
in
next
fact.
few months for you guys. Yeah, like right on Halloween. Uh, fantastic. So will you and I can't remember your and Bill
Bill,
will you and Bill be wearing awesome costumes because it's Halloween week?
uh, probably not. Not to disappoint you, but Bill's not much of a Halloween guy, and I'm not sure I am either. I have young boys though, so they'll unfortunately I'm going to be missing their Halloween in trick or
Lots
treating.
of people have
So,
said that. Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, it's kind of a bummer for those of us with small kids, but we'll survive, right?
Okay. So from here to October, you do have three clients. It sounds like you're kind of in beta test right now for the cloud. So
Yeah,
if a
yeah,
listener if a listener loves the idea and they're listening to this before ITC, uh, is it very likely that you can't take another client for the cloud yet, or Maybe.
No, not it's not. No. We no, if somebody's listening and they're interested and they have problems with their data and they want a single version of the truth, call me because we can help them now. And they, they could be part of this process that we're building. And I think the technology is mature enough that we're ready to take on clients.
Perfect, perfect. That is super exciting. And by the way, when this episode goes live, I will tag your LinkedIn. So for the listeners, on the show notes, you'll easily be able to find Nick's LinkedIn and also the company website. Super, 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 super awesome. Um, I, I was looking at your website and the insights section has some blogs, postings that look pretty interesting. So that for the listeners, definitely worth checking out Wikifri. That's wikifri.com. Uh, and if you're listening to this, chances are you are going to ITC. So definitely check out their booth in the startup area at ITC. Anything else for now, or, that's all you guys are doing for now, and I look forward to have you back in a year or two once things have really gotten going to see how things are going.
Yes, yeah, and we're I think we have the data product, but I also mentioned we have the iBOOM, so we're helping companies launch. There's a lot of activity we're seeing right now in the MGA fronting carrier aggregator platform space, and there's a lot of those companies that we're in a good position to help as they look to do team lifts, look to do launches of new MGA programs. We're definitely well positioned to help them from a consulting advisory perspective.
I especially love the this idea of for the insurtechs that are much more tech than insure, and there's many of those. Uh, being a consultant, a consulting company that can help them understand the insurance side and how it works, uh, not only how the business works, but how the data moves around and uh, how the sausage is really made on the
Yeah.
insurance side. Fantastic, Nick. Thank you very much
Yes.
for your
Yeah.
time. I look forward to see you at the upcoming conferences, and very exciting that you guys are launching at ITC.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony. It's really good to see you, and thanks for doing this podcast for the industry and everything else you do for the industry
Thank you. My pleasure.
with the insurance nerds and everything else. You're adding a lot of value, and we appreciate you. So keep it up.
Thank you.